So how would this work in a real life scenario, PJ?
Hopefully, it's not on yet, so I'll turn it on. I'll give it a second. While I do that, I'll grab my Faraday cage. It said it was last attack.
Hi, I'm Lauren and I'm part of the account management team here at UK Connect, and I'm here today with PJ, who's the founder of UK Connect, to talk a little bit more about in-building mobile coverage and I think see some live in action. So PJ, over to you.
Thank you, Lauren. Yes, we're actually going to talk today a little bit about the Faraday effect. So one of the solutions we sell at UK Connect is an in-building mobile coverage system, which is the ability to get phone signal inside where you need it most. And often that's inside a building. It could also be underground car park, hospital, anywhere that's not outside. 80% of all phone calls are made inside a building, so we know it's a really big challenge for a lot of people.
But why the radio?
Good point. So the radio is probably the simplest way of explaining the Faraday effect. So I'm going to build it up a little bit as well. So we'll start at the radio and we'll finish with a bit of a demo from our experience centre behind me. So we've got a radio here and we're going to turn it on in a minute. And when we turn it on, we'll hear the radio like we normally would do. I'm then going to cover the antenna with a homemade Faraday cage that we've insulated. And what should happen, and this is a death by demo, but what should happen is we should lose the radio. And that would effectively be a demonstration of how the Faraday effect works. And when I take it off, the radio should come back. So we'll give it a go. So hopefully, it's not on yet, so I'll turn it on. We'll give it a second. While I do that, I'll grab my Faraday cage. I did say it was last attack. So this is the cage. Don't worry, it is insulated internally, so it's not acting as an amplifier. It really is going to cover the signal. So you can hear that now, hear the radio playing. So we'll now cover the antenna in a second. There you go. It's a bit jittery, but now, yeah, there you go. So it's gone. So we've now lost the ability to hear the radio, and that's because the frequencies aren't able to get to the antenna. And that's because we've built a cage around it, and it's an impenetrable cage that RF signals, radio frequency signals, cannot get through. So if I take it back off again, there you go, it's really starting to come through, you can start to hear the radio playing again. So I'll just pop that there and turn that off, and very annoying otherwise.
So how would this work in a real life scenario, PJ?
Well, taking it a little bit more from sort of, the radio example to a mobile phone, our office here is effectively a Faraday cage. We have no phone signal at all whatsoever internally, which everyone knows has been a big complaint when we moved in. But externally, we've got loads of 5G across all 4 networks. We're very lucky here. But to get around that, what we've had to do is have to install our own self-isolate solution from Nextivity to pump the 4 networks round. So obviously right now in the office, we've got no phone coverage at all because our system is actually turned off currently. So I'm going to ask Dave now to turn it back on, which he's going to go and do. So what should happen is on the mobile phone here, we're going to go from no signal at all, as you can see right now, all the way up to full signal on 4G. It won't happen straight away. It will take a couple of minutes to do, because what's happening in the background now while the system's being turned on is our self-I system is currently looking for a donor signal outside. It's then going to amplify that signal and then distribute it across the office. So if we have a little look, there we go. So we've got full signal and we've got 4G. Yeah. So that's now completely up and running. And unlike a common question, which is, well, why can't you just use Wi-Fi? You absolutely can use Wi-Fi. And Wi-Fi is great for making outbound calls, but it doesn't always work for inbound calls. And another big challenge with Wi-Fi is that if I'm on a Wi-Fi call here and I step outside of the building, I'll just lose the call because I'll go from the Wi-Fi network back to cellular network again.
I was literally just about to mention that because you said earlier, talk about going from bed to desk and desk to bed, and I think that's a really good way of summing it up.
Yeah.
Because it's like seamless, like you can use your mobile phone as you would. I can come from my bed to the office and it works.
And the experience for you, it's just frustrating, right? How frustrating is it? The international sign for no signal, you've got your hand in the air, you're trying to get coverage, it doesn't work. It's super frustrating for the users. It puts pressure onto IT teams that they don't really need, but often people don't know this solution exists, and I think that's the point.
So can you give me some real life examples as to how UK Connect have put this equipment into places?
Yeah,
have you got some examples?
No, definitely. I can further demonstrate that. So obviously talk about the radio, talk about the phone, now let's talk about real life, actual example customers. So often we'll find with a lot of our construction companies, for example, they're in big ISO shipping container style offices where in the summer it might be fine, the doors open, but in the winter, doors closed, can't make a phone call. And if you're watching this, that is the reason why. But it's not just construction, it's hospitality. You've got hoteliers, you've got restaurant owners, you've got cafe owners. They want to increase dwell time. They want people to come into their coffee shops and spend as much time possible in there, not using the Wi-Fi, but using a hotspot on their mobile phone or using devices to, I don't know, do reviews, checking on Facebook where they are, take social media images, that type of stuff. And these systems can go from super, super low cost, like we're talking pretty much no ongoing fees as well for this product, right there through to more enterprise systems that use fibre and can run for kilometres and kilometres. So, this is used for, yes, applications such as mobile phone calls, card payments, but it's also used just to help businesses just generally increase dwell time, increase profit, and increase the customer or the team member's experience.
So what are the components that go behind this system?
So the actual system itself, what we're going to do now is we're going to throw out some animation actually. So hopefully you can see in front of you right now the components that make up the Selfie solution. So effectively what you've got is a scenario where you've got a mobile phone that's trying to make a phone call, but unfortunately the phone signal can't get from the mast to the phone. So to get around this, what we do is we actually take that phone signal all the way across to our donor antenna, and then our donor antenna drops the signal down into an amplifier. And this is the one we've got from Nextivity. In this case, it's the G43 we're looking at, or G41 it could be. And then that is then sending that signal to internal antennas across your business, which is then distributing that phone signal to the handset itself. Really important to note though, that this product is about coverage, not capacity. So we won't increase the capacity of your network, but what we will do is increase the coverage of your network. So it's really ideal for people who use basic mobile phone tasks as opposed to massive amounts of data if there's lots of you. And that's where its sweet spot really lies.
Absolutely, and we've seen the differences made in our office, from having no mobile phone signal to having lots of mobile phone signal, and quite literally, as we demonstrated on the phone there, from 0 bars to 5 bars. So if you want to find out more about in-building mobile coverage solutions and Selfie, then please head over to ukconnect.com.